versus TeebuL on Cactus Valley. This is when caster to game transition would have been nice with that kind of ending
You need
statement.
you need to get some of those esports dollars so that you can pay some of those esports people to make some esports broadcasting things. There you
Get some
go.
of that dirty esports money, right?
Yep.
So, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, it is the blue Protoss player looking to advance on to the round of 16, but there's one player in his way. Can he get it done? It's from Endurance Esports. It's TeebuL.
And in the top left, we have our red Terran player. They are also from Endurance Esports. We've got a team kill coming up, and it is EJK.
I just remembered that they're both from Endurance Esports. So, yeah, a heartbreaking team kill for these two players. They don't really want to play against each other, but they must.
They must. It is the nature of things. And we've got a gas first, so this is certainly going to be a fast factory, and this is almost certainly going to be mech.
Yeah, that's a incredibly fast gas. That's even faster than most gas first timings are. So even starting that refinery before that supply depot is even done. So I would say that your expert analysis is right on with this one.
My expert Bronze League Terran knowledge really coming through. Really coming through.
Yeah, so we're gonna see normal opener from TeebuL. And what I'm liking about these games, though, this particular series, is that these players know how the other player plays. They might play on different servers, but they're on the same team, so they probably see each other playing Clan Wars or like serve as practice partners. So they both kind of have an idea what the other player is doing. So we're gonna have to see how they adjust to try to, take advantage of that information, both for their own gain and to try to throw the other player off.
Yeah, and that's also a really important thing to bring up for a situation where we're dealing with a less conventional like mech versus Protoss style, because it's entirely possible that EJK was like, yo, I need somebody to practice with me. These are all the areas that my play is vulnerable. I need you to do that to me so I can learn how to defend it, right? So TeebuL might have all the answers at his disposal.
Yeah, definitely. And on top of that, TeebuL, being from the UK, he plays on the European server and EJK on the NA server, so it's probably not very likely that they run into each other much, or even like because the different servers have kind of different styles with all
Mm-hmm.
the races, just because they just play differently. It's not always the same like metagame and NA as it is in EU, as we see with cannon rushes. But it's just one of those things where there's going to be a little bit of that play style difference as well. So a lot of factors to consider in the series.
For sure, for sure.
So we're gonna see that everything's a little passive. We do see a couple Marines coming down in the center, but I think they're just there just to kind of poke in, try to wake up the Protoss player, make sure that he's not in his own automated, dream world, if anything. Or, they're just gonna stand by the Zelnaga watchtower and be watched guards. But they
Yep.
also get a Widow Mine too, so this Widow Mine actually burrowing in the Zelnaga glowy thing. But it
Yeah,
is gonna get that Stalker, so
I was gonna say that's a really nice move, if anything, just because it can kill whatever unit comes to take the watchtower. So yeah, there we go.
yeah. And that
Free
Stalker was
Stalker.
yeah, that Stalker wasn't even going for the watchtower. It was gonna go give the initial scout out and do a little bit of that pressure. So that's a huge win for this early game.
That is, I mean, every Protoss unit is so important just because they're quite expensive. They take a while to build, and yeah, all that good stuff. But we got a warp prism and 4 gates on the way. So looks like we got we got a good old fashioned warp gate rush.
Yeah, we
Oh my
see
god.
6 warp gates down right there, plus the 7th one at the
7
back and the
gate
robotics
pressure.
facility. So yeah,
This is what I believe you youngins might call an all in. I think that might be the correct term for it.
yeah, we're gonna see the sentry and stalker and a probe is that's funny that probe actually gets picked up in the warp prism, but probe definitely gonna be able to put down some more proxy pylons
That's
along
for
with the
sure.
warp prism being able to serve as a powering unit itself. So yeah, but Hellion's gonna go off to the right, and actually
Upgrade complete.
Hellion's gonna just go by, try to scout to see if there's a third base at all. But an observer's gonna actually get in and scout this base out, so he knows what's gonna happen here.
Yeah.
But we do see a huge warp in the main base of our Terran player. Well, does EJK even know about this? He doesn't even see it yet. He's leaving with his Marines and his tank, and this mothership core is going to be able to zone out everything. A scan does go down, but
Oh, he can force field the ramp. He can force field the ramp. Is he gonna hit the force field?
yeah, and even with the tanks right there, I'm not going to be able to get that ramp, but time warp goes down, and mothership core continues to get the SCVs, and actually a lot of these gateway units going down pretty quickly, but
They were
10
not
workers?
focusing down the tank, or like they were getting distracted by the SCV auto aggression. So that's not the best situation, but a lot of SCVs went down there.
yeah, 18 SCVs actually went down at the cost of a mothership core and some more gateway units, but actually that's just a bunch of naked sentries here. I'm not sure I agree with that warp in, but zealots do come to support them, so maybe giving a little bit, but now the siege tanks are sieging up and doing what siege tanks do best.
Yep.
So
I think the issue is TeebuL's just really low on minerals. Like he couldn't warp in anything but sentries for that first bit.
yeah,
And that's it.
that's just gonna be GG. So EJK takes the first game of this final series.
Now it's tough to say because like I was immediately thinking like, well, you know what, TeebuL just killed like 18 SCVs. You wouldn't think that that's an insta GG, but then I was thinking about it, I was like, well, you did go 2 base 7 gate robo, right?
Yeah.
That's there aren't that many good transitions out of that, so I guess he would have had to do more damage before having a chance to stay in that.
Right, right. Yeah, it was a really I felt like it was really well thought out, but just that SCV pull and just not really microing those units very well kind of led to, yeah, that weird position where you don't have enough units, you can't get the zealots that you need, and everything that goes along with that.
That's for sure. So, I mean, it was an interesting idea. It did get in there unscouted, absolutely unscouted, but that just didn't quite do the damage it needed to. The stalkers weren't focus firing.